Hi again, ready for a little bit of a warm up? All right, since we work out, we're also going to warm up. So, for some reason, I just like to do this with my eyes closed. I invite you to do the same. We'll just take a nice deep breath together on three. 1, 2, 3. And we can set an intention while we're here to just be a unit, we already are connected energy, and with our intention and with our awareness, we can just choose to connect with the energy that's here, the different people who are going to be here with us live tonight, inclusive also of any of us or anyone out there who might watch a recording of this at some other time. So remembering that spiritual workout is all about moving through life, dealing with our everyday issues and challenges in a specific way. And that way is really nothing other than putting into practice ideas that we say we believe in. And that approach is not always entirely different from, let's say, psychotherapy, but often it is different. So let's take an example of what we're talking about, an example of a spiritual workout approach, perhaps, to a common issue. So let's look at anxiety, for example. And I'm not talking about somebody who is at the far end of the spectrum and dealing with a diagnosis and heavy medications and whatnot. I'm talking about the everyday anxiety that, at least as a therapist or a former therapist and now the spiritual workout guy, that people come in with. So one way to look at it, the way we look at anxiety in spiritual workout world, is that in essence, feeling anxious, getting caught in a loop of anxiety that lasts for minutes or hours or days or just has become almost a new default. That anxiety is actually the result of thinking about the future in the present. Here I am, right here tonight on a Monday evening. But if I'm really starting to feel anxiety because I'm stressing out about the place I have to go next Tuesday and what I have to do from there and how I'm going to get from that place to the place I'm supposed to be at after that, and am I going to be am I going to do a good job for the thing that I'm doing all this traveling for? Well, now at that point in spiritual workout world, we don't want to talk about that anxiety. And the reason is because it's that action, that dynamic is in defiance of a fundamental concept called be present. Be present is one of the 15 concepts that we work with. So if I'm constantly feeling anxious, if I'm feeling anxiety, and then fueling it by thinking about this issue, this condition that I have to deal with, I think we're not being as effective as we can be if, in fact, the desire is to live anxiety free. Now, some people might not believe that living anxiety free is even possible. So there's a belief. I'm an anxious person. I've always been anxious. I'll always be anxious. Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with having those beliefs. But we have to know in spiritual workout world that they're still just beliefs. And beliefs create experience. And if we're having an experience we don't like, we change our belief. Now, back over to the whole question of anxiety and living the future in the present. Well, if we're going to practice presence, which is one of the things we're doing here, then anyone who's dealing with this issue of anxiety is in spiritual workout world going to learn to become more and more and more and more and more and more present every minute of every hour of every day. As we become more and more present, as our being present muscles grow, our anxiety naturally dials down. And as we get stronger and stronger with being present, we notice at some point that our anxiety doesn't even exist anymore. And we haven't taken any medication, and we're not conscripted to a life as an anxious person. So that's just one example of what I would call a spiritual workout approach to everyday issues. So why don't we take a nice deep breath and close up this warm-up. And let's see what you guys want to work on. Not work on, because we don't work on anything in spiritual workout, but what would you like to talk about tonight? I know we've already got a couple of things going.